Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, if you're new to this channel, do well to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Or more. Hey, my God, I can't even believe this. So, you guys know Joe Igbokwe is a prominent member here in the Southeast. So, this man now, for a long time, for over 6 years, he has been dragging Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, he has been seriously dragging him to the mud, and the entire IPOB movement, saying, dragging them through the mud, blaming them for every crime, guys. Blaming them for every crime, every attack, every life lost in Igbo land. His name is Mr. Joe Igbokwe. But today, this same Mr. Joe Igbokwe is, singing a different tune now. He's singing a different tune, and whether you love him or hate him, you must pay attention to the contradiction that exposes a deeper truth they don't want you to know. In this live section, you'll be knowing a lot of things, guys. Stay with me. I have a lot to tell you guys. So, over some time now, they've been saying Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. Nnamdi Kanu has been the one attacking the Igbos. This, that. Now, let me now tell you that Kanu is vindicated. I have a lot to tell you. Now, Mr. Igbokwe came out and said something. In fact, he uncovered the truth that we don't know. Although an ex-soldier has come out to say it, but then he came out boldly to say it again. I think it's because of what happened in Anambra State. You guys know the guy that was kidnapped and then they later killed him. The magnet fish, yeah, the name of his brand is magnet fish, a rare catfish, and then they kidnapped him and then they ended up buying him, guys. That is why he came out and said this thing. I'm going to be telling you what he said in this live section. So, Mr. Joe Igbokwe is down, singing a different tone. Whether you hate him or not, like I said, you must pay attention to this contradiction that exposes a deeper truth they don't want you to know. Guys, stay with me because we are about to unfold a brutal lie, a lie that says Igbos are killing Igbos. Why the real killers walk free? Hey, there is problem. So now, on July 31st, 2025, Joe Igbokwe, a Lagos APC chieftain and former special advisor of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, wrote on Facebook and said, "It is Igbo that is killing Igbo." He said it's the Igbos that are killing the Igbos. He said it is Igbo that is destroying Igbo land and putting the blame on Hausa and Fulani herdsmen. This is so sad. Now, according to him, he said the killings, the kidnappings, and the destruction are all self-inflicted. In his words, he said since 2015, politicians in the southeast have been using gunmen to win election, fight opponents, settle disputes, grab land, and act as security personnel. Let me repeat myself. Joe Igbokwe said that he said that what are the names again? That the southeast governors, they are the ones. In fact, according to his word, he said the kidnappings and the destructions happening in Igbo land, they are self-inflicted. He said since 2015, politicians in the southeast, guys, the 5 politicians in the southeast, have been using gunmen to win election, fight opponents, settle disputes, grab land, and act as security personnel. He said if the 5 southeast governors want the bloodshed to stop, he said if the five southeast governors want the bloodshed to stop, they should meet President Bola Tinubu, as he calls him P-Bat. He called him P, hey, my dear. And then he asked to unleash the federal might to clear this what is happening in the southeast. Now I want to talk about this. According to what this man said, the man said that southeast are the ones buying the southeast governors are the one conducting, they are responsible for the attack going on in the east. Now, and he also said that Igbos are the ones buying the Igbos. Now, one thing is sure, in all tribe there are facts. There's no tribe you will not see criminals. There is no tribe you will not see criminals. There is no tribe. And now you cannot just come out and say the Igbos are the ones buying the Igbos. Apart from the Southeast governors, I will not even doubt that one, because all the things happening, the governors are just silent. They are silent. What they are doing is to blame IPOP for what is going on. So you see, in that aspect, I don't even blame. I don't even. I can actually, say this is, or I can actually stand by him for saying that. One thing is sure, all this thing that is happening, even in the Ebonyi State, just a few days ago, we heard that gunmen attacked Ebonyi State, adopted 3 farmers that were in their farms farming, just like that. All this thing they will blame Kanu. Now it is clear that Kanu is not the one doing this thing. Kanu is not the ones. Joe Igbokwe said it is Southeast governors that are responsible for what is going on in the East. Will you doubt him? If you have anything to say, put it under the comment section. Let's talk about it. Will you doubt what this man said by saying that Southeast governors are the ones conducting the attack? Because this thing that is happening, they are just so silent. How can kidnappers have their way in Anambra State, do what they want to do, and then no arrest to be made? It happens every day. It's a daily routine. And you're telling me that the governors, they don't know what is happening? They don't even come out to talk about it. They don't even see. If insecurity wants to stop, or if the kidnappings want to stop in Anambra State, it will stop today. Yes, it will. These people know what they are doing. Let's pause and think. This is the same Joe Igbokwe who for 6 years told the world that Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB were the sole masterminds behind every killing in Igbo land. He never pointed fingers at any governor. He never once asked Tinubu or Buhari to send federal might to clear the stable. But now, the same person that said Nnamdi Kanu has been the one attacking the Igbos, now he's not saying the Southeast governor. You can see the truth behind all these things. Now, so what has changed? Why the sudden twist? What happened? Why did Igbokwe just come and make U-turn? What has happened? Why throw the blame on Southeast governors now? Why is he still pushing the same call lie that Igbos alone are killing the Igbos? Why ignoring the foreign terrorists who moved from the forest of Zamfara to village of Ebonyi and Enugu? Why are they ignoring this fact? See, I feel these people are just trying to say that Igbos are killing the Igbos, just to distract you from what these foreign terrorists are doing. I mean, the Boko Harams. In what they are doing. There is no tribe you will not see, you will not see criminals. You cannot come and say, the truth is that it is not majorly the Igbos that are doing this thing in Igbo land. It's not major. Do you know what shocked me the most? What shocked me the most is that the governor of Anambra State went to UK. The governor of Anambra State went to UK and then said that 99.9%. Oh my God. Somebody that is supposed to go to UK to ask for the release of Nnamdi Kanu went to the UK to say that 99.9% of criminals are Igbos. Guys, a Southeast governor went to. So this is why you might be asking yourself why why this UK or why international voices are silent. How can a Southeast governor go to UK to say that 99.9% of 99.9% of Igbos are criminals? If they have caught 100 criminals, 99.9% are Igbos. Can you imagine? Wait, have you forgotten how Igbos are marginalized? Is there any tribe you will not see criminal? Is there any tribe when you go to Yoruba, they are criminals? When you go to Hausa, they are criminals. So it is not majorly the Igbos. What about what the Fulanis are doing? What about what the Fulanis are doing? What about, I mean, we're talking about the new problem now in Igbo. Let us not focus on the kidnapping, because kidnapping has been there right from time. Kidnapping has been, what about what is happening? The invasion of Fulani men, buying, destroying homes, killing people. That was what shocked me most. Like I said, let's think of this thing. For Joe Igbokwe, for 6 years now, he has been blaming Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, saying that they're the masterminds behind every killing in Igbo land. He never once pointed at governors. Now he's the one saying that it's not Kanu, that is southern east or southeast governors are now the ones doing the things. Joe Igbokwe is not alone in this dangerous narrative. Remember Professor Chukwuma Soludo. governor of Anambra State, Soludo traveled to the United States and boldly declared, just like I said, that 99.9% of killings in Igbo land are carried out by Igbos, but the kidnappings. See, think about it. Two prominent men, one a sitting governor, the other a loud political mouthpiece, repeating the same script. Igbos are killing themselves. There are no foreign invaders. It's not herders. It's not terrorists. They are trying to say that it's Igbos. Now, for Chukwuma Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, one thing that you should know is that there's no tribe you will not see criminals. There's no tribe. Even when you go to UK, you will see criminals there. When you go to Yoruba, you will see criminals. There's no tribe. You cannot come out and say majorly it's the Igbos that are killing the Igbos. What about what these Fulani people are doing? He looked over it. Imagine someone that's supposed to be pushing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu went to the UK. I was expecting him to go to the UK and say Kanu is innocent. You see, these Southeast governors, none of them have said anything good or boldly come out and push for Kanu's release. None of them. Now look at what is happening. Look at currently Ebonyi State is under fire. Have any of them come out and said something about it? But he will go to UK to say Igbos are criminals. This is why you see UK international voices are silent when it comes to Kanu's case. I am disappointed. Now, for this Sunday Igbokwe that is coming out to say that Igbos are killing the Igbos, what he means is that it's the Southeast governors that are responsible for the attack. This was somebody that was blaming Nnamdi Kanu. He said it's not Nnamdi Kanu, that it's Southeast governors now that are doing the thing. Guys, not only that, we have also I've heard this, these truths. In fact, these truths have been unveiled by an ex-soldier. That is Southeast governor that is, they are the ones that are doing this thing. Not just Sunday Igbokwe has said it, but also an ex-soldier. Now, briefly, take a look at what is, in case you've not seen this video. I know many of you might have seen this, but in case you've not seen this video, where this ex-soldier came out to say that it's the Southeast governor, even mentioned their name one by one, saying that he's not scared of anything. He came out boldly and said this is the reason behind Kanu's detention, and they're the reason, behind all this chaos in Igbo land. Take a look.
Yes. Hello, Nigerians. They are trying to silence me, but with God, they failed to silence me. I want to analyze something concerning the arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody is just talking here and there about Nnamdi Kanu. But what is keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the prison today is saboteurs. Because of the saboteurs, some selfish people that will make the good movement of this nation, that will make the betterment of this nation not to appear to the people of this nation. Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter. You see that how Nigerian leadership are turning this country upside down. That every human being or the citizen of this country, they are not getting it right. You see that hospital, you are not well treated. You see that in police station, your case are not be well taken care of. Security everywhere. There is no security. He decided to say no, and he know the history, and he decided, let me get my own country, Biafra. And the history of Biafra, he met that history that a lot of indigenous people of Biafra, they are fighting for this country called Biafra for a very long time before he was born. And he stood up. A saboteurs in the east. The people holding Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria today, in the prison today, is not the government, it's not the president. How can the president hold Nnamdi Kanu when all the whole charges against him is not guilty to it? The people holding Nnamdi Kanu in this country today is the leadership, the leaders in the east, the governors. Let me measure. I am not afraid of anything. The governor of Enugu, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu. The governor of Anambra, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu. Hope Uzodinma. Your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention. The governor of Abia State, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention. Wike, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention. Now, they hold Nnamdi Kanu, make it they know what? Release am. Una say, if they release Nnamdi Kanu, say, problem go there for East. How problem go there? Nnamdi Kanu there for detention, problem not there for the East. Is Fulani not killing the people of the Igbo land? Is Fulani not killing people inside East today? The governor of Enugu is an impotent governor. Fulani herdsmen is killing your people. You are not doing anything. You did not take any action. It was the youth that said they must gain Biafra. They are the ones fighting. They are the ones pursuing those Fulani away from their land. You keeper because of selfish interest. Those people I just mentioned, they are behind the arrest. They are behind the detain of Nnamdi Kanu. They want Nnamdi Kanu to die in that prison so that anything concerning Biafra should not rise again. Is a lie. Nobody can stop the sun to shine. The worm when they eat cola, the worm when they chop cola, is they inside cola. So the people killing Nnamdi Kanu, the people that said Nnamdi Kanu will not be released, they are charging him reckless and nonsense charges. They are the governor, the House of Representatives that is represent all the whole senatorial district in the East. They are against him. They are the one that said Nnamdi Kanu will not gain freedom. That if they gain Biafra, them who is now the governor, so-called Nigeria, they will not have any.
So guys, in case you don't understand what that man said, he's an ex-soldier. So in that video, he explained two things that I understand. He explained number one, that the Southeast governors are the ones behind the endless detention of Kanu. And two, he mentioned about the killings going on in East, the way, the Southeast governors are just silent. He said Fulani, are buying people in Enugu State, even in Ebonyi State, and they are calm. It's now the youth that is now coming out to fight. And whenever they engage the youth, they end up losing their life because, these people, they are unarmed. The youths, they are unarmed. And then you see what is going on. So now let's come down to what, Igbokwe said. Now, let me remind you that over 6 years now, Igbokwe has been blaming Nnamdi Kanu for conducting the attack. Guys, just yesterday, another one happened in Ebonyi State. Farmers that were in their land farming, herders came and, according to them, they said it was unknown gunmen, came and adopted them, kidnapped them. Guys, under the watch of the president, under the watch of the governor, I don't even want to come to the president. Let me just fix this governor. I just want to face these governors because let's face people that are closer to us. I don't know if you're getting me. Let's face these people that are closer to us. There was this kidnapping that happened in Anambra State. I will not stop talking about it. A young man that is ready, I think the name of his company or brand is Magnet Fishing. He was kidnapped in Anambra State. According to the news, they said they came into his house, shot him on his leg and took him out. They kidnapped him. They requested for 12 million naira. This happened in Anambra State. They requested for 12 million naira. The family members had to raise up money and bring to them. And after they still killed him. Who is doing all these things in Anambra State? So do they say that it's Igbo people? He went to UK and said if they have caught 100 criminals, the 99.9% of the criminals they caught are from the Southeast. Will you say that it's Igbo people that is majorly doing this thing? Why is it that Soludo, see, this statement by Soludo is making us to get distracted from the foreign terrorists that are coming into Nigeria buying people? There is no tribe that you will not see criminals. It is not majorly Igbos that are doing this thing. How about what Fulani people are doing? How about, because if you go to Yamufo, it even got to the extent that Reverend fathers were protesting in Enugu State, saying that Boko Haram and Fulani, in fact, majorly Fulani people should leave them alone. They should carry their cow and leave Enugu State. They have done enough. How will you say that, these people are saying that it's Fulani headers, but Igbo leaders are saying it's not Fulani headers, that it's Igbo people? Imagine the betrayal. Imagine the betrayal. According to Igbokwe, according to him, he said the killings, kidnappings, and destructions are all self-inflicted. In his word, he said since 2015, politicians in the southeast have been using gunmen to win election, find opponents, settle disputes, grab land, and act as security personnel. And now, if you check, this Sunday Bokwe is saying that it's the Southeast governors that are responsible for the attacks going on. He's not more saying it's Kanu, because for a while now he has been saying that it's Kanu that is causing this thing. Now he's not facing the Southeast governors saying it's them. Now, have you ever watched that anytime this thing happening in the Southeast, any attack by Fulani or anyone that happens, have you ever seen that the governors in the Southeast are always calm? Just like this ex just said, he said in Enugu State, imagine what Fulani people are doing in Yamofo. The governor is calm. The governor is not saying anything about it. It's calm about that. Imagine that. So he says if the 5 Southeast governors want to stop the bloodshed, that they should meet President Bola Tinubu. He called him P-Bats. That was what he called him. And asked him to unleash the federal might to clear this violence in the Southeast. But let us pause and think. This is the same Joe Igbokwe who for 6 years now has been, saying that Nnamdi Kanu and Nnamdi Kanu and these people are responsible for the attack going on in the East. He never once called Tinubu or Buhari to send federal might to clear the stable. So what changed? Why the sudden twist? Why throw the blame on Southeast governors now? Why is it he still pushed the same core lie that Igbos alone are killing the Igbos? See, let me tell you, this is a very big lie. Igbos are not the ones killing the Igbos. For Igbokwe, for Joe Igbokwe, what he means by Igbos are the one killing the Igbo is the Southeast governor, as he mentioned. It's a Southeast governor. For a normal, ordinary human being to come and say Igbos or an ordinary Igbo man is the one killing Igbos, I don't believe that, because it's not. I will say majorly it's not Igbo people that are doing this thing. I will say majorly it's not the Igbos are doing this thing in Igbo land. That is what I'm going to say. Joe Igbokwe is not even alone in this thing. Now, let me now tell you the truth. This is the truth you need to know. Every tribe has criminals. I'm not here to say that no Igbo man has ever committed a crime. If I say that, that would be very foolish. But the truth is, the scale of violence, the burning houses, the mass displacement, these are not pretty kidnappings or old family disputes. There are terror operations carried out by armed and imported killers. Look at what is happening in Enugu State, in Yamofo. Look at Ebonyi State. Look at communities that have become ghosts of towns overnight. Look at the villages where people can't go home to bury their dead because they fear being slaughtered by gunmen hidden in the forest. These are not ordinary criminals. They are trained, imported criminals, terrorists, moving freely. Why powerful people keep repeating it's Igbos killing Igbos, deceiving you guys, trying to distract you guys from the main killers, the real killers, the major killers. Look at what is happening in Abuja, Gbagbolada area now. That place is like is now on they are now running there. The same pattern repeats in Delta, in the port, from the north to the south. Yet when these killers strike in the north, they call them bandits. When they strike in Igbo land, they say it's Igbos that are killing themselves. So ask yourself now, who benefits from these lies? Who gains when the world is made to believe the Igbo land is destroying itself, so that no one investigates the real invaders? That is it. For Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, to go to UK and say that Igbos, if the Igbos are criminals, if they have caught 100 criminals, that 99.9% of them are Igbos. So what is he trying to prove outside the country? That Igbos are bad people. Igbos, all the Igbo people, all Igbos are criminals, so that they will not release, or they will not, help to push for Kanu's release. Who gains when the people are too busy blaming each other, while the forest filled with more weapons? trying to distract us from this terrorist, this imported terrorist. Joe Igbokwe says the governor should meet Tinubu to beg for help. But who arms the so-called unknown gunmen? Who protects them, who protects their movement? You're asking yourself, these terrorists, are they spirits? Or is it after attack they will disappear? And no one will see them again until they come again. Let me tell you, these are human beings. They work freely. They know them. They have different, they have their camps are scattered all over, all over this country. Why is it that military men have not gone after them? Or do they live in covens? Ask yourself this question. Why is it I've not gone after them? That's to tell you what is happening in Nigeria. Every small thing they will blame Igbo. Igbos are this, Igbos are that. Trying to distract you from the main terrorists. That is it. Joe Igbokwe is saying that the governor should go and meet Tinubu. Who are the ones supplying these people with weapons? Who arms these so-called unknown gunmen? Who protects their movement? Who opens the routes and close the investigation file? I want you to think beyond Joe Igbokwe's contradiction and, I want you to see the real problem for what it is. Not an Igbo problem, but a calculated operation to destabilize Igbo land, silence its true leaders, and, smear every voice that stand up for freedom. If you are listening to this, do not be neutral out of ignorance. Be neutral to seek the facts. But do not be silenced when you find the truth. Do not. The truth is simple. The real enemies of Igbo lands are not the ones they keep pointing at. They want you to be distracted. They don't want you to know the real enemies of Igbo land. They are the ones pointing. That is just it. Now, let's connect this to the man, Igbokwe, let's connect this to Kanu's vindication. The vindication of Nnamdi Kanu. You guys have, like I said before, Joe Igbokwe dragged Kanu for so many years, for over 6 years. They called him the problem. They called him the mastermind of every crime in Igbo land. They arrested him, disappeared him, tortured him, kidnapped him, and refused him bail. All on the claim that he is the reason for the bloodshed. But today, listen carefully when Joe Igbokwe admits that the real, let me show you the headline so that you will see it was published by Sahara Reporters. You can see this same Igbokwe now. He has come and admitted that the real people behind the killings are politicians, local collaborators, and hired gunmen. He has knowingly or not vindicated Nnamdi Kanu's long-standing warnings. From the beginning, Kanu shouted it in Radio Biafra. They will bring killers from outside. They will blame the Igbos. They will call it unknown gunmen. They will create fear to weaken the East. This is what Kanu was shouting long time ago. Everything he said from 2015 till now is happening exactly as he warned. The same people who mocked him have now come in full circle, pointing fingers at the same corrupt political cabal Kanu exposed years ago. So when you see Joe Igbokwe's sudden confession, understand what it really means. Nnamdi Kanu is vindicated. His words were not hate. Kanu was right at first. His words were not hate. They were prophecy, and today the truth is louder than the propaganda. But don't get it twisted though. It doesn't just end there. These same political actors who secretly sponsor gunmen and foreign terrorists now pretend they want peace. They come on Facebook to condemn violence, yet they hold secret meetings to protect their power with blood money. They use innocent youths as prawns, chickens. Then they blame IPOP. They blame Eastern Security Network. They blame the same people crying for safety and freedom. And when people protest, they call it insurrection. When the people obey sit at home, they call it criminality. When real terrorists bomb village, they call it unknown. This is what we are seeing in Nigeria. How can people go out to protest or people will base it at home, they will call it criminality. But in these real terrorist-born villages, they call it unknown. Ask yourself, why do they fear Nnamdi Kanu's voice so much that they locked him up? Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why do they fear Nnamdi Kanu so much that they locked him up? Just like I said, and next soldier said this same Southeast governors that Sunday Igbokwe is pointing at also the ones holding Kanu to date. Why do they fear him speaking even from DSS custody? Because he names all of them. He removed the mask. Joe Igbokwe's contradiction proves that everything Kanu has been saying is true. The real criminals are within. The real traitors wear suits, not mask. Take a look in case you've not seen that video. Now I'm playing this video for those that have not come across it. Now take your time and listen to what this ex-soldier said about the real traitors in Igbo land. Take a look.
Yes. Hello, Nigerians. They are trying to silence me, but with God, they failed to silence me. I want to analyze something concerning the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody is just talking here and there about Nnamdi Kanu. But what is keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the prison today is saboteurs. Because of the saboteurs, some selfish people that will make the good movement of this nation, that will make the betterment of this nation, not to appear to the people of this nation. Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter. You see that how Nigerian leadership are turning this country upside down. That every human being or the citizen of this country, they are not getting it right. You see that hospital, you are not well treated. You see that in police station, your case are not be well taken care of. Security everywhere. There is no security. He decided to say no, and he know the history, and he decided, let me get my own country, Biafra. And the history of Biafra, he met that history that a lot of indigenous people of Biafra, they are fighting for this country called Biafra for a very long time before he was born. And he stood up. A saboteurs in the east. The people holding Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria today, in the prison today, is not the government, it's not the president. How can the president hold Nnamdi Kanu when all the whole charges against him is not guilty to it? The people holding Nnamdi Kanu in this country today is the leadership, the leaders in the east, the governors. Let me measure. I am not afraid of anything. The governor of Enugu, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu. The governor of Anambra, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu. Hope Uzodinma, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention. The governor of Abia State, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention. Wike, your hand there for Nnamdi Kanu detention.
Let me come in now. Now, like I said, ask yourself one question. Why do they fear Nnamdi Kanu's voice so much that they locked him up? They fear his voice so much that they locked him up. Have you ever asked yourself that question? And then these names that he mentioned, these names that this ex-soldier mentioned, have you asked yourself why they are silent, why they are not pushing for the release of Kanu? First, Soludo came out to say that the release of Kanu would not end insecurity in Nigeria. What is Soludo indirectly saying? That they should not release Kanu. That one shocked me. The second one I heard was that he in UK, one conference like that, he said that if they caught 100 criminals, 99.9. Do you know what is 90? What is remaining? You would have just said you would have just said all Igbos. He said, in fact, 99.9% is all Igbos. He said 99.9% of criminals are from the southeast are Igbos. See someone that is supposed to go to UK to, to push for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is there any, guys, is there any tribe you will not see criminals? You cannot come and say, because Soludo is saying that majorly is the Igbos that are attacking. How about what the Fulanis are doing in Ebonyi, in Enugu State, in Anambra State? Is he saying this thing to distract people from what, or covering the crimes of Fulani people? Is there any tribe you will not see criminals? I cannot come out and tell you that Igbo have not committed any crime. Guys, I cannot come and say that Igbos have not committed any crime. They have. But they are not the ones majorly doing this in the southeast. For Soludo to come out and say that all Igbos are criminals, what is he saying? What does he even mean by that? How can you go to international, a country like that, and you speak bad about Igbos? How can a southeast leader, someone that is supposed to be pushing for the release of Kanu, you see, when this ex-soldier come out to tell you that the southeast, even mention the southeast governors, even mention their names, that they are part, in fact, they are responsible for the endless detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So what is the role of these people now? The people must stop swallowing propaganda to people. People must stop mocking those who speak the truth. Stand for the truth even when it is bitter. Remember that the same people stealing, or the same people telling you Igbos are killing Igbos, will sit down with the same invaders tomorrow and collect contracts to rebuild what they destroyed. The land belongs to you. The safety of your village belongs to you. If you keep quiet, you hand it over to them and their armed protectors. Joe Igbokwe's words have accidentally, what he has said has vindicated Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That has cleared Kanu's name from the eyes of anyone with common sense. They have exposed the real masterminds, and so today the duty is yours and mine. Do not let this twist again to spread. Somebody said, hey, my God. Somebody said, let me show you guys. For Soludo to say that all Igbos are criminals, because he said 99.9% of Igbos are criminals. This person said, even Soludo is a criminal. Now, let me just share this story with you. This is a brief story that was shared by High Sense. You guys should know him. Yes, he's an activist too. He has been coming out, to talk about some things, to expose some things. Now, Harrison shared the story. He said there was a man that went missing in Anambra State. I'm saying this because of what this man said, saying even Soludo is a criminal. There was this man that went missing. He sells custard. All of a sudden, he went missing. Guys, for 1 year. 1 year. It was not after 1 year that they had to find him in an illegal cell in Anambra State. Now, the security or the vigilante personnel or the vigilante people or whatever they call them that Soludo set up, the vigilante group that Soludo set up, the members are the ones that took this man away and kept him in an illegal cell for a year, guys. This story was exposed by High Sense. I'm not just saying faking story. It was exposed by High Sense. Imagine what is happening. Will you tell me that policemen, because the duty of the policemen is to check these vigilantes, to check their prison. Why would an illegal cell at first even exist in Anambra State? And then the same the vigilante group that Soludo set up, is it Bubago or whatever? They're the ones that held this man. In fact, the man went missing. His family don't know where he went to for a year. They even concluded that he was even dead. All of a sudden, they found him in an illegal cell in Anambra State. Guys, is it how it's supposed to be? Is that not kidnapping? Is that not criminalism? What will you talk about? What will you say about that? Is that not criminalism? Is that not? It's not a crime. An illegal cell in Anambra State. And they said it's not one, it's not two. Imagine what is happening. Imagine what is happening. So you can see it. All these people that you think that this, don't see, if there are more truths to all this thing, I believe one day the truth is going to come out. Those betrayals, those sabotage, they will come out and speak up the truth. History is watching. How can Soludo come out and say that Igbos are criminals? Is there any tribe you will not say criminals? Is there any tribe? What about what these Fulani people are doing, these Fulani terrorists? Is it that Soludo is not seeing what these Fulani terrorists are doing? Is he trying to cover their crimes and now push Igbos as criminals? That is what is, imagine, the thing that pained me the most is that he went to UK to say this kind of thing about the Igbos. That's what pained me the most. Can you imagine? The idea of blaming these victims is not new. It started decades ago, the same script during the Civil War. They starved them out, bombed their market. Imagine what they did to the Igbos. They starved them, burned their markets, then blamed them for resisting. Today is no longer an open war. It's a hybrid war now. They use unknown gunmen, they use herdsmen who suddenly become invisible men when it's time for arrest. Have you asked yourself, why is it that after this herdsmen attack that no arrest has been made? You think they are spirits? Suddenly they become invisible. Suddenly. They will just become invisible when it comes to arrest. Yes, now. Suddenly they will just disappear like that. You see these unknown gunmen, like these people, they use unknown gunmen, they use herdsmen, but suddenly these people become invisible. When it's time for arrest, they use local traitors who sign secret deals in Abuja. Meanwhile, same foreign backers supply weapons through back channel. Check the forest. Who is training these people? Have you asked yourself, who sponsors these safe corridors? Who order the military to look away when villages cry for help? Who? The same system that locked up Nnamdi Kanu under terrorism charges turns blind eyes to real terrorists crossing borders daily. The real terrorists. You see all this governor is saying this, that. Have they ever talked about Kanu's freedom, like saying that Kanu is innocent, even when it's clear? The same system that locked up Kanu under terrorism charges turn blind eyes to real terrorists crossing borders daily. Guys, don't forget that Joe Igbokwe and Joe Igbokwe is just the loudspeaker. The real architect sits in cool air-conditioned rooms in Abuja and foreign embassies. They don't post on Facebook, they grant local interviews, they negotiate oil blocks, they sign rail line deals, they sell farmlands and forests to foreign partners. Meanwhile, the community bonds so long as the pipeline, as long as the pipeline flows and the vote box stay controlled. They don't care. They don't care if they will betray their people. As far as the pipeline flows and the vote boxes stay controlled, that is their mission. You're asking yourself, why do they keep repeating Igbos are killing Igbos? Because once you believe it, you stop asking questions. Once you believe it, you will not believe that Kanu is a terrorist. That is it. Once you believe it, you stop looking for who imports the guns. Once you believe it, you fight your brother. Why the real enemy moves to your backyard. Now somebody said something. Let's look at it. He said, Igbokwe is a disgrace to Igbohood that has no conscience and bloodly and hungry men that will pay for his sins when God comes to judge them. Let me take it again. He said, Igbokwe is a disgrace to Igbohood that has no conscience and bloodly and I don't really get what this person is saying, and hungry men that will pay for his sins when God comes to judge them. Now, let me remind you that Igbokwe for a long time now has never supported anything called IPOB. In fact, he has always, in fact, for 6 years now, he has always condemned Nnamdi Kanu, always called him names, saying that he has been the one attacking. All of a sudden, he has changed and said the Southeast governor, that Kanu is innocent. That's to tell you. I'm saying this because of what this person said, about, Igbokwe, Joe Igbokwe. Now he's saying that the Southeast governors are the ones. In fact, he's saying Igbos are the ones behind the East killing, saying that in fact, he mentioned, he said it clearly. Southeast governors, and it's appalling. It's appalling. It's appalling. All these things that is happening in the Southeast under the watch of Southeast governors. See, when I tell you that Anambra State is the headquarters of kidnapping, I'm not joking with you. But Anambra State has a governor. Anambra State has a governor, but it's the headquarters of kidnapping. Few days ago, a young, handsome man was kidnapped in Anambra State. That one made me cry. A man that is hustling just like that in Anambra State, and they killed him on top. There is no, you see, Southeast, they claim it's Kanu. Is it Kanu that kidnapped this man that died a few days ago? Is it Kanu? Eh? So Kanu is in DSS custody. Will it be ordering attack from there? This has just vindicated Nnamdi Kanu. This, what Sunday Igbokwe said, just vindicated him. Now, like I said, you're asking, why do they always keep repeating Igbos are killing the Igbos? Because they want you to believe. Now, for Soludo to go to UK to say that Igbos are the ones killing the Igbos, for him to say that thing, he wants people to believe that Kanu is a terrorist, or he wants to make people believe that Southeast, they are not peaceful people, or something like that. Just to believe that Igbos are, this is wrong. There's no tribe. I will not come and defend the Igbos and say Igbos are not, there are not criminals in Igbo land. There are criminals in Igbo land. There are as well criminals in Yoruba and Hausa land. But they're not the ones majorly doing this thing. They are telling you Igbos are killing the Igbos so that they will distract you from the real terrorists, the imported ones. You see this betrayal within? The worst part is the role of some Igbo elites, the political contractors that wear a shago red cap, who show up at foreigners to cry crocodile tears, then sign secret papers in Abuja to call for federal might. They get protection, contracts, and political appointments. While your community is born, Nnamdi Kanu called them a fulefu. That was what Kanu called them, a fulefu. Traitors, and today, they prove him right daily. So this is not about hating Joe Igbokwe or Soludo or whoever they send to talk. It's about seeing through the noise. Don't get distracted by this, their big grammar. They'll tell you, Igbos are killing the Igbos. They are trying to distract you from the main terrorists they import from, the imports. Do not get distracted by these, their big dramas. Follow the guns, follow the money, follow the silence in Abuja. When villagers cries, and stand firm, because whether they like it or not, the truth that Nnamdi Kanu planted in your hearts can never die. Joe Igbokwe's contradiction is your reminder. Kanu was right. The real enemies are not the youths. The real enemies are the people fighting for freedom. The real enemies, sorry, I made a mistake. Yes, what I mean is that the real enemies are not the youth. The real enemies are not the ones fighting for freedom. The real enemies are the ones telling you the victims is the killer. Let me repeat myself. Don't mind them when they are saying Igbos are killing the Igbos. They want to distract you from the real enemies. The real enemies are not the youths, neither are they the ones that are fighting for freedom. The real enemies are the ones telling you the victims is the killer, telling you the Igbos are killing the Igbos. Why they count their money in foreign banks? Don't be fooled again. Stay awake, stay united, stay Biafrans in if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Kanu's truth will never die. You see those things Kanu have been saying since, it will bear fruits one day. It will bear fruits. For so many years, they called Kanu a warmonger. A warmonger. Hey, if a woman is fighting in unjust, they'll say it's Kanu. Common ensigns, they said IPOP. They called him a terrorist. They said he was spreading false alarm about foreign militias, about sponsored terror, about politicians hiring killers to destabilize Igbo land. They mocked him when he said the forests are weaponized. They laughed when he shouted that herdsmen would one day become a private army used by corrupt leaders. They called him a madman on Radio Biafra when he said that there are collaborators inside Igbo land who sell out their own people for crumbs from Abuja. Yes, now. They called him a madman on Radio Biafra when he said that. He said there were collaborators inside Igbo land who sell out their own people for crumbs from Abuja. Today, Joe Igbokwe himself, the same man who dragged Kanu's name through the mud for 6 years, is now openly confessing that the people behind these killings are not who they once claimed. He's saying politicians are using gunmen. He said the governors know what to do. He says the same killers they blamed on herdsmen are actually protected by local hands. Every word Kanu proved. Every word proves that Nnamdi Kanu did not lie. He warned. He did not start violence. He tried to stop it. He did not destroy Igbo land. He gave everything, including his freedom, to protect it. And that is why they fear him till today. That is why they locked him up without fair trial. That is why they want to silence him, because a man who speaks the truth exposes lies they carefully plant. Anybody that speaks the truth in Nigeria is Nigeria's enemy, because the truth is bitter. That is why they locked him up without a fair trial. That is why they want him silent. The only crime Kanu committed is because he spoke up. Guys, if Kanu was silent, they will not go after him. The crime he, apart from agitating himself, the crime he committed, agitating is not even a crime. See, one of the main reasons why they are going after Kanu, because let me now tell you, agitating is not even a crime, which they know. Self-determination is not even a crime. The main reason why they are going after Kanu is because of his, he's exposing them that he spoke up. That is why they fear him. That is why they locked him up without fair trial. That is why they want him silent, because a man who speaks the truth exposes every lie they carefully plant. So in this moment, this contradiction is not just gossip. It is a final proof that Kanu was right. The truth he planted is alive. And no matter how many Facebook rants Joe Igbokwe writes, the facts cannot be buried. So what do we do with these truths now? We should stop. With this is not about gossip. We should teach it. We should remind our children that when the history of this betrayal is written, Nnamdi Kanu's voice will be remembered as the voice that stood firm. Why the sellouts collected their payments and pointed fingers at their own people. And for every lie they push tomorrow, remember this day, Joe Igbokwe's contradiction proved Kanu's right. That's the truth they fear more than any bullets. I'm telling you. I am telling you the truth. Nnamdi Kanu didn't just say unknown gunmen will appear. He told us how they will appear. Kanu was clear in details. He told us everything that will happen. Now, Nnamdi Kanu didn't just say unknown gunmen will appear. He told us how they will appear. He said they will wear the face of herdsmen. That was what Kanu boldly said. But behind them would stand powerful sponsors who supply the weapon, open the bush path, protect the hideouts, and then blame innocent villagers when the blood flows. He said it long before people saw roadblocks, kidnapping on highways, or gunmen attacking churches at midnight. He said it when people called him a madman. Yet today, the same Joe Igbokwe now says it is politicians using gunmen to grab lands, settle family disputes, and win election. This is exactly what Kanu said, words for words. Remember the Olu massacre in Imo State? Who invaded the forest and killed villagers in the name of hunting or hunting unknown gunmen? Who gave those orders? Remember Yamufu? Ehamufu, where entire villagers fled because of well-armed herdsmen they say do not exist. Oh my God. In Imo State, they will tell you that there is no herdsmen. There is no this. Remember in Eyamufu, where the entire villages fled because of the well-armed herdsmen, they claimed that they never existed. Who gave them safe passage through farmlands? Remember the countless sit-at-home attack blamed on IPOP, but each time the real suspect vanished into thin air while security agents locked the other way. Every sit-at-home during Mondays, you will hear unknown government came and started buying the people. They will call them IPOP. There is IPOP that is in this unknown just to make IPOP look like an illegal organization. Every Monday, they know that Monday is for sit-at-home. So now they will that Monday you will hear of many attacks that happen. They will come and say it's unknown government is IPOP. Who opened the borders? Who disarmed local vigilante and then told the people to wait for soldiers who never arrive until blood dries? Tell me how many attacks that these soldiers have, all these military people have responded to. Even the one that happened in Plateau State, the one that they buried 27 people in one grave. They said that they actually told military men of this attack that if they had responded, these people that they buried would not have died. Every single event is a receipt that Kanu's warning were not empty talk. They were the real intelligence no one paid for because it exposed the rot. And think globally now. When Kanu called for a referendum, they called it treason. Treason. That is what we keep hearing. I don't even see I don't even see his crime. When Kanu called for a referendum, they called it treason. But when terrorists openly boast on video about carving out territories, they all called bandits. When Kanu organized a peaceful sit-at-home to call for his release, they sent tanks. But when armed kidnappers, killers, whole bus load on the highway, they negotiate ransom quietly. What does this tell you? It tells you the system fears only truth. Because truth exposes the money that deals, the betrayal, and the secret sponsors. That is why they must silence him, because if Kanu speaks today, millions will see this new revelation. Joe Igbokwe is making, he's saying the truth. We are in Kanu's broadcast years ago. So when you hear Joe Igbokwe claim Igbos are killing the Igbo, understand this. This statement itself is an indirect confession that Kanu was right when he said, your worst enemies are not always foreigners. Sometimes they wear Igbo name, but carry Abuja in their pockets. These are the Southeast governors that Sunday Boko pointed at. This is the parts they want to bury. And your own so-called elders, politicians, and social media warriors are the ones who opened the gates for these invaders. And every time they speak now, every contradiction they expose is one more proof that Kanu's vision is alive and impossible to erase. So if you still doubt, open the record book, listen to the old radio broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu, compare his warnings to today's headlines. You will see that Kanu was right at first. And now, Igbokwe is coming to, admit that Kanu was right. You will see the same truth. Kanu was not the enemy. Kanu was not the enemy. He was the messenger. And no matter how many times they twist the narrative, his vindication is the seed that will grow bigger every time they lie. That is the power of truth they fear. And that is why you must never stop speaking it. Now, let's stretch this truth to the root. Why do they really want Igbo land unstable? Have you asked yourself, why is it that they want a long time now? Let me now tell you, for a long time now, they have always wanted Igbo land to be unstable. because instability creates easy access for the bigger or for the big players to control the land and the people. This is not just about gunmen. It's about oil blocks. It's about gas pipeline. It's about seaports that must stay weak while other regions enjoy free trade zone. Nnamdi Kanu said it a long time ago. He said, they fear an organized United East. See, let me repeat myself. Kanu said this long time ago that they fear an organized United East because an organized East will control its own wealth. So they unleash chaos. So the people are too busy burying their dead to ask who signs the oil and gas contract under their feet, and who do they use to carry out the chaos? Local collaborators who collect appointments and praise Abuja by pretending they are defending the East. This is what we are seeing today. You can see what is going on. So now, in conclusion, Sunday Igbokwe is saying that the Igbos are the ones behind the killings going on. He said, in fact, he called them. He said clearly that his Southeast governor. He means that the Igbos are behind the things going on in the Southeast. He means the Southeast governors are the ones behind all these things. That is what he means by the Igbos. Because I will not come and tell you that Igbos have not committed crime. Igbos have committed. In fact, it is not in other tribes you see criminals, but they are not the major people that are unleashing attack on the East. Anybody that tell you that Igbos are criminals or all the whole people in the Igbo land are criminals, they are trying to distract you from the real enemies, the real traitors, the imports. The Fulani, what they are trying to distract you from what the Fulani headers are doing in Igbo land. So guys, we've come to the end of this live session. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and drop a comment under the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.